News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The university system budget faces a $24 million shortfall. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Tuesday, February 21st, 2017. Hope you had a pleasant, if you were able to enjoy the three-day weekend. If not, then welcome back. Montana Morning is here. It's 32 degrees. We have rain squalls moving throughout western Montana. Quite a big blow last night. If your house was rocking, probably because of the winds that were battering this part of western Montana. We're expecting, we do have a winter weather advisory, by the way, until 11 o'clock this morning because of black ice conditions on Highway 93 north and south going out of Missoula, and all other roads are barren wet at this time. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Bullseye Wear, Missoula's only certified master optician at 2910 South Reserve. Tuition for University of Montana students could skyrocket by up to 23% should budget projections hold true for the university system from the state legislature. Associate Commissioner of Higher Education Kevin McCrae said, like all state agencies, the university system is facing a budget challenge.
The bottom line is this: if resident student tuition payers alone were to fill that $23 million hole, we would be looking at a tuition increase that statewide would average about 23% this year, followed by another increase of an undeterminable amount in the following year.
McCrae outlined two possible scenarios if the budget picture fails to improve.
If we were not looking to address the hole solely through tuition, then we would be looking at making $23 million in cuts to educational programs, which would significantly reduce the opportunities available to students. Or we would be looking at some combination totaling $23 million worth of cuts and tuition increases.
McCrae said legislators will be working to restore as much of the $23 million as possible. Two members of the National Search Team, AGB Search of Washington, D.C., were in Missoula last weekend for another visit to the university campus to help choose the finalists to replace Royce Engstrom, who was asked to resign suddenly in December. Senior consultant James McCormick said the first visit of the search committee was an opportunity to get a feel for the campus and the community.
This is the first meeting of the search committee. Although we have had numerous meetings in December, and we've been doing our homework and campus visits, and this is all part of what we call the pre-search. And as a result of today and all that we've heard, we will be developing the very detailed advertisement profile and all of that to be approved by the commissioner and the committee.
McCormick said it's too soon to offer a detailed description of what the future president might look like.
Now, the profile is more important about this wonderful university so that people can see the potential and all of that. But we'll get into real detail on this ad that will go across the country about the characteristics of leadership that we need and the challenges. And then we'll be also trying to tell the story in the profile about why someone would want to come to this great place.
The hope is that the search will be completed and a new president named by July. Montana's Commissioner of Political Practices, Jonathan Modell, is again under scrutiny from legislative Republicans as they seek to bar him from working for the new commissioner after he leaves office. The proposal before the House Judiciary Committee on Friday is another parting shot at Modell. Some Republicans accuse him of using the nonpartisan office to go after Republicans. The commissioner enforces Montana's campaign ethics and lobbying laws. The bill by Republican Representative Greg Hertz would prohibit any former commissioner from working in the commissioner's office for at least 6 years after leaving office. Modell's term ends as soon as a successor is confirmed. The Commissioner of Political Practices has been a frequent target of Republicans. Earlier this week, the House voted to dismantle the commissioner's office altogether. On President's Day, the Montana Legislature's Bipartisan Joint Appropriations Subcommittee on Natural Resources and Transportation found over $220 million to fully fund Montana's road construction projects. Subcommittee Chair Carl Glimm, a Republican from Flathead County, said Governor Bullock's budget originally had cut millions from infrastructure projects.
We went into subcommittee with a goal of finding as much money as we could to put forward in construction projects to build infrastructure for the taxpayers of the state of Montana without having to raise taxes. And we were able to actually get enough to fully reverse the cuts that the governor made in his budget that he proposed to the legislature.
Glimm described how the subcommittee was able to find the funds to restore those projects.
We did a number of things within the department. They had quite a number of empty and vacant positions that we eliminated so that we were able to take that money and put towards construction construction projects. And then we also did some administrative stuff that we were able to find significant savings in to also put towards those construction projects.
Glim said the restoration of funding will be a boon to private sector construction companies over the next 2 years. Montana Senator Steve Daines fielded questions about his actions during recent Senate confirmation hearings, as well as plans to replace the Affordable Care Act during a teletown hall. Daines told callers he silenced Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts during debate on Senator Jeff Sessions' nomination as Attorney General because she was impugning Sessions in violation of rules meant to keep Senate debates civil. He said he voted for Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary because she supports school choice and public education. And he said thoughtful discussions were taking place regarding a replacement for the Affordable Care Act. Daines said he decided to answer questions via telephone rather than face-to-face discussions so more people could participate. Republican lawmakers around the country faced some hostile crowds at recent town halls. Missoula County Attorney's Office was busy last week prosecuting 13 felonies, including 2 that involved intoxicated drivers. County Attorney Kirsten Pabst explains.
We've had the vehicular homicide while under the influence case. There was a criminal endangerment where a man allegedly was driving his F-350 with a snowplow attached the wrong way down I-90. At least 4 other vehicles that had to take action to avoid a collision.
The office dealt with 2 burglary cases and 2 theft cases as well, a series of assault charges that stem from what Pabst described as an incident of road rage.
Assault with a weapon times 3. It was one man charged with 3 counts of assault with a weapon. I'm going to call that a road rage case where he drew a pistol and threatened 3 individuals that were in another vehicle.
Other crimes handled by the county included forgery and assault on a minor. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Andrew Schneider, a public health reporter for lead Montana newspapers, has died at the age of 74. The Missoulian reports that Schneider died Friday in Salt Lake City while being treated for pulmonary disease. His wife, Kathy Best, is the new editor of the Missoulian newspaper. Schneider had also worked for the Associated Press. Our news talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Patchy areas of fog this morning with areas of rain and snow. Daytime highs will be in the upper 30s and low 40s. Tonight, rain early, changing over to snowfall by sunrise Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.